into it. Like, I'm gonna sweat no matter what, so I may as well have an excuse. And I wouldn't be sweating, but this beat.
Yeah, it'll keep it.
Yeah, 10% of your body goes through your head. So you're actually much hotter without it. I think you should start taking things off. I mean, I don't mean to volunteer you for that kind of thing.
That's appreciated, but I think they think I'm already hot.
I know you do, but you think he's hotter with clothes or without clothes. I don't mean to put you on the spot. No.
It's okay, I feel it.
One thing has come off. We're almost there now.
Yeah, warning, next RG shoes and socks. Thank y'all for bringing us out here. Who's first time meeting the gang? Well, we've been on for 20 fucking years, so what's this all about? Kidding. Fair. Grateful to be here. Don't want to waste y'all's time. I know there are a lot of people standing up in the sun. So let's get to it.
We'll start on this side, bro. And you guys can share a mic. Is that cool? All right.
I don't know. He's fucking Lucifer.
How do you think?
I ain't sharing shit.
I'll tell you what. When I work this side of the room, I'll take the mic back.
I've already infected you. I'm just saying.
True. Hi, how are you? I think you're not on. She sounded good. That was a good start. But I think I'm going to hear that.
Do you have a favorite Supernatural episode?
Do I? Yeah, there are a few to choose from. I have different, personally, I have different favorite episodes. Some are my favorite to watch, some are my favorite to film, and some, frankly, were my favorite because I loved what was happening in my life when we shot the episode. I'll say this. My wife, who I love deeply and miss her very much, we started dating in season 4, and there's an episode in season 4 called On the Head of a Pin. It's Alistair and Sam Rinsen, and Jim and I have only been dating for like 2 months, and so I think I had like 1 day to shoot and just come in, and my nose starts bleeding, and I say I can't just exercise demons, I can kill them and kill the demon. And then straight from there, on vacation with my then girlfriend and soon to be fiance, soon to be wife and mother of my kids, Jen. So that's as weird an episode as that was to film. I just remember that time in my life. It was January of 2009. So that's what's coming up. But again, it depends if I'm in a fun mood or in a sad mood. But I appreciate them so much. Do you have a favorite episode? But you asked us the question. Do y'all go back to everything?
I do. I love Yellow Fever. It's one of my favorites. Of course, The French Mistake. And Baby is one of my favorites. Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah. The great Thomas Wright directed that.
I think it's so cool that we I think so often you ask me all the time, like, what is your favorite character to play? And I always say, like, they're so, like with kids, like, they're so individual and unique and you fall in love with them in different ways. But there's so much truth to be said about when we're making these shows, like, we're living our real lives. And like one show that was so important to me, and I know we're talking about this here, but Paranormal has been like, really a great time in my life, that 2 years. It was like the best my marriage ever was, it was probably the happiest I ever was. And so it was just like this resonance when you're filming your shows and you have these really fond memories. And that's a really nice reminder. So I'm glad that was really special for you, Jen.
Amen. Okay, I think we're over here now. No, just kidding. Ha ha ha.
We're all going to stay in the sun.
I have a two-parter. Who was your favorite celebrity guest star on Supernatural? And if you could trade places and play any one of those celebrity guest stars, who would it be?
Good question. Funny enough, I was asked about somebody today, so she's fresh on my mind. It was fun to have Paris Hilton. I mean it, because I had done House of Wax with her, I think 6 or 7 years prior, and so when she got cast as Paris Hilton on Supernatural, everybody ran to me and they were like, "How's Paris? Tell us the dirt." And I was like, "She's really sweet. She's really hardworking. She's going to show up on time. She's going to know her lines." Like, I worked with her for 4 to 5 months in Australia, and she was a brother the entire time. And so she showed up and showed up on time, and no posse or entourage. She just showed up and she was like, "Okay, like, where do I go?" And so everybody was kind of enamored with it. "You're right. She's really sweet." I was like, "I told you. I told you." So that's my answer to the first part. I guess if I could play any of the characters, I never really got weirdest in all the stuff I play on Supernatural. I would have loved to have played a Crossroads Demon, so I would have taken Smithy, Nicole Blazey's role, and had a good time with
That sounds like a genuine question, though, not necessarily a question for me, but I have to say, I love House of Wax, by the way. I'm a horror guy, and I really did like that movie quite a bit. And I have a Paris Hilton story, too. She was in the TCAs, and I think I was there for the Tomorrow People. And my wife was like, "You have to get a picture with Paris Hilton." I'm like, "Please don't make me get a picture with Paris Hilton." Thinking the same thing, that it was going to be just a crazy thing. Finally, she's like, "Please, Alicia, her son." I ended up going, "All right, fine." I went up to her, and she was the nicest person I had ever met. She was really, really fantastic. That's my Paris Hilton story. Anyway.
I also know Paris, and she's lovely.
There you go.
We all know Paris Hilton's amazing.
Yeah, we have a winner. Thank you for coming, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
What is the funniest thing that's never happened on set, either to you or that you witnessed?
What is the funnest thing? Funniest thing. As far as on Supernatural, I ripped my pants. And I was kind of embarrassed, but then also kind of proud because I've been working out a lot. And I was like, those glutes are popping. It made the gap real. I'm in I have a broken hand, I think I do now. But I'm with a shovel trying to like hit the ground, and my pants split open. So that was certainly unexpected, but now I'm like proud of it. Like, oh yeah, I used to be built. So yeah, I think that was kind of one of the craziest things that I went to. Loved it, but at the time, I think it was season 2 of Supernatural, and so I kind of knew the crew, and the crew knew me. We were able to laugh about it together, but that's certainly something as far as Supernatural goes. But on any project.
Yeah, so for me, we were shooting out on location. We weren't there on the set. Our shipment was, we had an outdoor shower. And Shepard decided to take a shower after the thing was done. And the curtain fell down, and he was completely fucking naked. And I saw his, and I'm making it up, I'm totally making it up. So I just lied. I lied because I can't say anything. So I have to make, from now on,
So what happened when he realized?
when you realize he's like, "Oh my God," like this. I'm fucking naked. I'm like, "Yes, you are." Took a picture and I put it on the internet. Posted it on, at the time, Twitter. And I only got like 3 likes.
This just marks 3 accounts.
His body counts. That's hilarious.
Also, like, speaking of Twitter, there was a time, remember you guys used to like steal phones? Like, you could not, dinner was not safe with these guys.
You stole phones.
Like, you would steal, like, you'd be at dinner, and Jared was like with him. You'd be like, "Oh, Rob, show me a picture of your kids." And I was like, "Oh, open your phone so it's unlocked." He's like, "Oh, that's so great." Would be like talking about something else.
account at the time. I think I tweeted like, I hate kids, and then I went to my phone on my Twitter account and responded, like, Misha, dude, that's public, not private. But then,
All the while, we're just like eating pasta and drinking wine, and this is like imploding careers.
hours go by. That having been said, I then went to dinner with you again in Chicago years ago, and my own brain got pulled on me, and I woke up. Okay. Somebody grabbed my phone, and I just went home and went to bed. Didn't check Twitter, and in the morning, and Matt Coleman and I are good friends, but he doesn't usually call, he'll usually text. But I had like 7 missed calls from Matt Coleman, and I'm like, the hell? Like 8 a.m. And so finally I kind of like look, and he has a voicemail, and his voicemail is, dude, check your Twitter. And I was like, okay. So I went to Twitter, and I had posted, I have a small.
Was it Misha?
Right, rhymes with Venus. And so I was like, okay, well, I can't get mad because that's like a taste of my own medicine. I very much appreciate it. I think it was Fergus. I think it was on Fergus. Misha was there, but it was on Fergus.
Let's get some questions from this side of the room. We have
Let's do it. Thank you so much for your question.
Yep. Bring it over here, then we'll go back over there.
Hi Jared, my name's Amaya. I'm 11 years old and I'm from Columbus, Ohio. And my question for you was, what upcoming projects are you doing so I can tell my friends back at home?
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. For your friends back home, I don't have anything set in stone yet. I think I might be going to Vancouver soon to go play on a show called Fire Country with my friend Max Stereo. Have some fun up there. And then another show possibly in the new year that hopefully if your friends are 11, they won't watch, called Boys. Again, don't tell your 11-year-old friends to download it, and please don't watch it either. I'd be mortified, but I don't know just yet. But I've been, since Walker didn't get picked up again, I've been spending a lot of time with my wife, I've been spending a lot of time with family and friends, and enjoying the, also heat and humidity down in Austin. So thank you for being here. Next question.
Hi, my name's Tim. I'm third court. Two-part question. One, Jared, since I'm a horror fan, what was it like playing on Friday the 13th? And then also the second part, are we ever going to go and get a supernatural movie or the show come back?
I'll grab that one. I'll answer your second question first, which is I think we're all up for it. I mean, I think we all love to go play in that sandbox again. And we already get to see each other in different cities, different states, different countries at times. We all enjoy each other, and we have so many years of working together and knowing each other's families, knowing each other personally. So I certainly hope. I think we're all on board. Like, I don't think I ever mentioned the possible reunion or reboot to anybody who's going to play Supernatural, and they're like, nope, not me. And they said, sure, yeah, let's get to it. So hopefully, I don't think it'd be another season of television, but I think it'd be maybe, in my head, it's like a 5 or 6 episode, hour and a half long episode, streaming, reboot, like the Gilmore Girls one or something. Thank you. If y'all haven't noticed already, I like to plug my own shit casually. On that note, plugging Friday the 13th, it was great. There was some heaviness to it because I love horror movies as well. I love the genre as well, so I didn't want to mess it up, frankly. But it was a great time. It was a 2-month shoot in Austin, Texas before I lived there, and I moved from San Antonio to Austin in 2000 to go to UT for college. Then got Gilmore Girls, and was like, oh, I'll go back to UT someday. And so I hadn't really been there in 8 years. So it's fun to go. I love the cast and crew. I've seen all of them. So it's kind of like, just don't mess it up, dude. Don't mess it up. And I think we had a fun movie. So I hope you enjoyed it. Brother, thank you. Your question?
Guys, my question is for Jared and Mark. When you guys were filming the Lucifer and Sam scenes where you're just one-on-one and nobody else really can see what's happening, how do you get into the headspace to kind of handle that?
It's pretty easy for me to be in a headspace to be scared of Mark. You know, it's funny, having done this for so long, I mean, we've all done hundreds of episodes of television. I think I'm just shy of 500 episodes of television. And so you kind of, once you kind of know your craft, and you know your character, then you can kind of bob and weave and vibe with other people's methods as well. And as far as I remember, and can honestly say, it went really well. It was easy, you know. He's not method, I'm not method, so we could shoot the shit in between cut and action, and then they'd say, like, get to your marks and action and be back to it. And that's how I like to work in general anyways. Like I want to sprint. When they call action, I want to sprint. I can't sprint all day long. So when they call cut, I want to make fart jokes. Or I want to, you know, get on, there was no TikTok at the time, but I don't have TikTok, I play it fine. But you know, YouTube, or read an article on the news, and then I know I've done my preparation. Really easy to work with them, and all the stuff that he brought, and as well. But it was questions for us. The stuff that he brought made it very easy to take the scenes places, and it challenged me for sure. I hope I did the same. But I had a great time.
As did I. It's very fun torturing him. I don't want anybody out there to do it at home. But it was quite fun. But I think there is a method to the madness of being loose and free in between takes. I think that's, I mean, when I was younger, I used to think I had to take the part home with me and just saturate myself with it. And you really don't. As you get more mature in the work, you realize that play is actually the most important thing you can do. You have a really deep scene where he's freaking out and he's, you know, in his head he's having a psychotic break, or I have a deep scene because my brother Gabriel tells me I'm a big bag of dicks or whatever, and it hurts my feelings. The best place you can be in is that open space like a kid, where you take everything with that grain of play, and you're not trying to hit a mark, it just happens because you're free, you know, you're free and playful. So to me, that's a great way to work. Great way to work.
Thank you so much.
Have any of you ever had a supernatural or spiritual encounter in real life?
So, I went to a haunted bed and breakfast with my wife, and there were supposedly two ghosts there. One was a little kid who was murdered. This is a church, by the way, a 19th century church has been converted into a bed and breakfast. Sorry to be so dark about that one, but the other one was a priest. The priest, this is even more creepy than the kid, tucks you in at night, supposedly. I don't believe any of this stuff. I wanted to even walk around at night when everyone was asleep and look for the kid, you know, but I'm sleeping. Suddenly my eyes pop open. It's about 3 in the morning. My wife's asleep. My back is facing this like French doors that went out to the veranda. And I swear I feel someone standing over me. And I'm awake. I sort of like quietly pinch myself to make sure I'm awake. And then I feel fingers on the back of my neck, tickling my neck. And it was one of those moments where, like in a horror movie, you're like, you want to turn around really fast. Have you seen the horror movies? You're like, don't turn around. Just don't look. Keep the covers over your head, and everything's going to be fine. It's not the case. And I flipped around real fast, and nothing was there. So I did get a call from Celebrity Ghost Stories. There was like, I guess that's a show, and I guess my ghost story wasn't good enough. Because they were like, did you see it? No. Well, and they kept like leading me down this path, and I'm like, exactly how many many actors go down that path just to tell their ghost story on the show, I wonder. But that was the closest I've ever come to a paranormal experience. And I've had dreams that were really weird, though, that seemed like I was actually connecting with somebody who just passed away. But that's about the extent of my quote-unquote paranormal. You guys have anything?
It's not scary at all, but it was this feeling that I had. It was a few years ago, I was at an event and I was in a hotel and I was really sad. I was having a very sad episode and I couldn't sleep and I was like tossing and turning and I remember like praying, asking for like some comfort. And I felt what I couldn't explain, like I didn't see it, I didn't hear it, I didn't feel it. I just felt like I got a hug from my grandmother. And I don't know why, other than that I know. And it was like, it was the most comfortable, like I felt so loved. And it was a feeling, it was a knowing. You know when people say like, it's just, you just know? And I just knew it in that moment. I had a great day the next day. And then a few years later, my girlfriend was having an event and they hired a medium. She's like, oh, I'm having like a wine and whatever food night, and this medium is coming, and so we were all sitting in a circle. I had this pin that my cousin had made, I had my grandparents on it, and their 50th wedding anniversary on my coat, and she said something, and she's like, someone's wearing your grandmother on your coat, and I was like, oh, it's me. She goes, your grandmother wants you to know that was her that night. And I was like, I knew it. And it just gives me so much comfort. It's very close to my grandmother when she was alive, and so it just gives me like an affirmation that we're not alone, and that we're loved, and that we're supported. And yeah, I guess they're always there, but in that moment I needed her so badly, and it was so beautiful.
I can't believe I just remembered that I had, oh my God, how can I forget this? I was in Australia at this gardens at a tea house with my wife, and we were at this big table alone. I can't believe I forgot this. And I'm sitting there with my wife talking, it's the way after the tea house is empty, and I sort of looked out the window, but out of the corner of my eye, I could have sworn my grandmother was sitting next to me. And I literally turned around, there's nothing there, and I went, I could have sworn I saw my grandmother sitting next to me. I called because I was sort of freaked out. She had just passed away. Now that's a paranormal experience. I can't believe you just reminded me. I must have put that in the back of my mind. Wow, yeah, that was crazy.
Wow. Awesome. How awesome. I mean, I'm like, incredible. I haven't had that with ancestors yet. I've had a few things in hotels. One is this hotel in Austin. And recently, I think maybe 6 months ago or 7 months ago, we were in Edinburgh. My wife and I were in Edinburgh. And we're at this really old hotel that used to be like a train station or a train terminal or something. And we can see the big castle Arthur seat from our window. And we check in, it's been a long travel, and we get in, and we go to bed, we feel Jen's like, someone's in here. And usually I'm like, no one's in here. Not a huge room or anything, but she wasn't saying a person, she's saying like, there's something in here. And I'm like, my instincts were like, no one's in here, we're fine. In my head, I was like, fucking right, something's in here. We go to bed, I close all the curtains, we go to bed, and the curtains open up. Jen and I are both in bed, the curtains open up, and all the windows are closed, and then the bathroom starts leaking. We're on like the second floor of 6. So I call downstairs to the concierge, and I'm like, I'm not complaining, it's 2 in the morning. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if you've had other complaints, but our bathroom, room 209 or whatever, is leaking right beneath the bathtub. And I hate to say this, but you know, we're 4 floors down. I hope someone's not like in their bathtub dead. You know what I mean? Like don't go with somebody up on my behalf, but there's a lot of water. It's not even raining outside, and there's a ton of water leaking into our bathroom. And so the guy's like, thank you so much, and goes and checks, and they're like asleep, so they got woken up because I called. But I was just nervous. I was like, well, all I can think is that somebody has a bathtub on, and they're dead, and it's still just going over. So the guy comes and knocks on our door, the concierge or whatever, the night manager. He's like, hey, everything's fine. Can we move you to a new room? We're like, no, we're fine. We put some garbage baskets underneath the leaks and get some towels down. He brought extra towels. And then he's like, okay, are you sure? Yeah, we're sure. I get back in bed and our curtains are getting all wonky again. And so literally in this tone of voice, I'm laying in bed with Jen, no one else is in there, and we can hear stuff going on. I can see the curtains kind of moving and then kind of moving back. And I just say, just like this. I say, hey, I say like out loud. I go, hey, I know you're here. I see you. I want to see you and hear you. Can we do this in the morning? Stops. Literally, it was just sort of like, hey, I know you want to be heard and seen. I know you're there. I see you. I respect you. I'm saying fucking Winchester, don't fuck with me. I didn't say that part. I'm embellishing now. But I literally just kind of like, hey, we know you're here. We see you. We respect you. Can we do this another time? And everything stopped. The bathroom stopped leaking from the roof. The curtain stopped moving. And I was like, okay. Look at Jen. I was like, let's go to bed. They didn't come back the next night or two, but it was a pretty crazy incident. Yeah.
So I guess you're that.
Yeah. Yeah, just, hey, I hear you, but I'm jet lagged, I'm really tired. Can we do this tomorrow? You know, I'll listen better.
Why don't we just do that in The Conjuring again? Right? The Conjuring, Sinister. Just say, not tomorrow, just tomorrow.
Let's schedule this.
Yeah, let's do this in the morning.
Why don't they keep salt on a bungee? You know? To where it has come back. Thank you, where are we here? Okay, hi. Hi.
And I think that episode with that was really cool. But I just want to know, like, how it was going on within this, like that.
Well, I knew the Miz because we used to be on a basketball team together in LA. And Paul Lazenby is also a dear friend of mine, as is Alconic. And so we had a good time. It was a funny episode. Those guys are huge and throwing each other. They're both 250, 280 something. And they're just launching each other around. I was jealous that Jensen got to do the scene where he goes in and just trying to pretend he's tough. But we had a great time. It's a legit sport. And good on you. That's not easy. And keep it up. Proud of you. Thank you.
We're going to head over to this side. If you have questions here.
So I know that we said about favorite episodes earlier, and we kind of touched on it. Was there a specific episode or scene that was your favorite to film? And then part two, where was the hotel you were at, Mark? The haunted. No, Mark. The haunted.
Oh, it was in Ventura County. It's called the Victoria Rose, and it's a church. It's been converted into a wedding house.
Okay, thanks.
Favorite scene to film?
Scene or episode?
Got it. I'll harken back to something Mark mentioned. I can't think of a scene. I can think of 1,000 scenes. But Baby was incredible to film. It was a nice homage, and the whole conceit of the episode was the Impala is somehow or another involved in every shot. I like the kind of the term seeing how the sausage is made. So the idea of seeing guys, there was an episode where Sam and Dean are doing laundry in the middle of the bunker. Like that stuff, I like the big action-y or super emotional or comedic scenes. But seeing what happens, it's like seeing bloopers. This is just them washing their armpits, folding their laundry. That seems so weird. I should talk to my therapist about why that interests me. But I think the idea of Baby of that. Okay, I'll go deeper. The scene where Sam and Dean are sleeping in the Impala. I remember vividly shooting that sequence. And we had a bunch of Impalas. Jensen has one now, I have another now. But we had some, all the pieces came off. You could take the roof off, you could take the windshield off, you could pull the doors off, take the trunk away. And so we had gotten on Impala, took a little pier out of it, and taken the roof off. And Jensen and I usually, in between takes, we'll go back and go to our trailer or go to the car or cliff or go do something. But this time we just lay there. We're like, let's just see what this is like. So we just lay there and played our scene. It was a good time. Yeah, that sticks out for sure. Vivid.
It's kind of my favorite. I always like the one that I got to take the shit out of Mark Shepard.
Oh my God.
But the best part, Jared was in the scene, and the best part was Mark's a giver. Like, as much as we all like to rag on Mark,
On camera.
oh yeah, he's no, I can't lock myself over. I'm like, that's not necessary. No, I'm gonna do that. The best part was Brad Priester came out, so I had to like punch him and kick him a few times to knock him over. And then Brad, our camera operator, he came out with a death counter, and the crew took a number so they could get in line to also kick the shit out of mine. Yeah, it was fun.
Really?
Yeah. And of course, Mark loved being the center of that show.
I love that.
Yeah, he'll take all the energy.
I love that. I was going to say one of my favorite scenes was bowling Mark Shepard down the aisle and saying, clean up on aisle 7. I had a great time meeting him up because I thought it was a long time coming. Just because he pretended to be the king of hell, so he needed to be put in his place. Anyway, that was really funny.
All right, next question.
Thank you so much for your question.
First of all, Jared, if that beanie is too hot for you, I would happily take it off your hands.
That's terrifying.
Also, I do ghost hunting, so I was wondering what you guys would do if monsters were actually real.
I call it you. Say, what do I do here? Why do you think monsters are actually real?
Well, I know ghosts are real, but I don't know. I don't know.
I always tell when my kids were little and they were scared of monsters, it was just bad. But like monsters are actually people you know. I think like real monsters, we have this big vision of like Godzilla or these like fictional monsters. But monsters exist in everyday life and we experience them often.
They say in the average lifetime, you've likely been in the same proximity of or even met 100 serial killers in your lifetime. So yeah, there are monsters.
Monsters among us.
But if they were monsters of the type of supernatural, I would be one of two types. I would either kill them or run.
Yeah, I don't know like why we sort of romanticize like survival, like The Walking Dead. I'm like, I don't think I'd want to survive.
You want to live in that world, right?
I'd be like, no, I'm good. Let's just let it take me.
I'm fast and I'm scared. I got long legs and I can still, I have a good like 7 or 8 seconds of full bore sprint inside me still. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I try and focus on that I care about.
Protecting what you love, making sure what you love is safe.
I guess that makes sense. Like if there is something to live for, then that's what we do.
So
Yeah.
my impulse to use them as bait is probably wrong. Okay. I'll try to improve. I'll try to improve my strategy.
One more question here, then we'll have time for only 3 more on the other side. So the last question on this side.
Hi, nice to see you guys again. I just wanted to know, out of all the seasons, which character has like dying off was the saddest for you? That you didn't want to see go off?
It sucked to see Dean die off. Obviously. Bobby was tough. Bobby was tough. It was great television. But, obviously with Mark and Lynn's characters, that was kind of like what Sandy Dean was setting out to do. But with putting on Bobby, it was like, hey, what? And getting rid of the body set. For me, it's even more, not more. For me, additionally, it's locations. Like when we took down Bobby's house, or when we took down the middle of the bunker, that was visceral. I was walking around stealing shit. I was like, what am I going to do with this? I'll see like fake books. Like, we're like, hey Genevieve, guess what? I have these fake books from a set that we used to have. Okay, cool, that belongs in the garbage. Kidding. But yeah, I think losing a friend, though it's such a great, important lesson, losing a comrade, whether it's to death or you're moving or you lose touch or something, was really interesting to explore. I'm glad that I was there. But I'll stick with Bobby here.
You know what fucked me up? Excuse me, partly weird to say that like that. Was Joe's death. Remember Joe? That really messed me up. Yeah, that one was a tough one. Bobby too in a way because I haven't been for dad figures, so it's like that bothered me too. So, but Joe really messed me up. How about you?
Bravo. This is where you drop the mic.
I was just like, I want to keep playing.
Fair enough. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Connor. This is a question for you here specifically. Do you think you give us any info on your role in the void coming up in the season?
Thank you for the question. Let me sure. I was going to ask you if you could give me some info. Literally, and I can't wait to do the voice if it happens, but the extent of the conversations have been Christy called, said, hey dude, so sorry about Walker. Hope you and Finny are okay. Love to have you come play on the boys. And me typing back slowly like, okay, just let me know if I have to get naked so I can start working out again. That's not a word a lot. I can tweak the screen capture. And he's like, I'll figure it out. All right, call you soon. That was, a month ago or whatever. So his crazy brain is somewhere in some hole writing all this crap. I legitimately, I'm not hiding anything. I don't know. I might just be a strange dude that walks by in the background. But I'm excited. Nervous and excited. Thanks, Connor.
I mean, I had to ask Rob Benedict if that was really him. How many of you have seen The Boys? Wait till Splinter comes on. There's an entire, 15 or 20 minute fight scene naked.
Yeah, to our 11-year-old friend from Columbus, Ohio, do not watch it.
Do not watch The Boys.
Tell your
season
friends
4.
not to watch it. Kidding. Thank you so much, Tom.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, you? My question is how to Mark and David. Maybe that you have to get along or stuff like that.
Why didn't Jack the actor get along with who? With me?
Yes.
You mean on camera? Yeah, Al, you know, I love him when he was at all. I think part of it was Sam's, Jack was he's the chosen one, and so I think Sam tried to be there for Jack, where Dean was more scared, but I think Sam still had a wall up. He was trying to be who he could be. But I think ultimately, Jack's role in the story was such that he had to be a lone wolf, because he was the one that would ultimately make every decision. So that's my best guess.
Got time for one more question.
Thank you so much.
You guys are heading back to your table to sign, photo ops, all that stuff.
Okay.
Okay, probably back to sign. Here's the last question. How about that? Last question. Hope it's a good one.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm 13 and I just got into art school for acting. And I'm wondering if you have any advice on how we actually adapt to going on screen and actually being on set with other actors who may be more experienced.
You may be more experienced. If you can, pick their brains. Ask them how they do what they do. Every set that I've worked on, I've worked with people who are amazing. Aside from Jared and everybody on the set, Supernatural, when I was with Philip Seymour Hoffman, we talked acting the whole time. And I improvised the process. Or Chris Cooper, or Jeff Bridges, or Jeff Goldblum. Anybody I work with whose work I admire, I ask them how they do what they do. What do they recommend for somebody? How do they apply it in the work process?
you'll learn things in school that you're going to have trouble applying in real life because there's so many obstacles, to deal with when you're working in film. And so talk to them and get experience with them. And most of all, treat acting like a craft. Learn your craft, learn plays, read everything you can, get on stage as much as possible, and play. Best of luck.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can kind of really get in our head and take it so seriously, and ultimately it is a moral play. I just taught a class on momentum, and it should be available to momentum.us, but on this very specific thing, like people understand their own trauma and acting, and has such a great opportunity to mentor them, and I just like, where was I when I was this age? And I think there's so much more to do with this, and we'll go back to that, and you'll find your own process, right, and to Mark's point, ask questions, be curious. I didn't know I could have friendships with directors and writers. I didn't think I was like worthy of that in my earlier years. And so just learning and being confident in my artistry, what I bring to it, I think we learn a long way. But all the little things of business about how you deal with getting mentors, what do you teach to do that in acting class? How do you deal with 62 rejections before you get a job? That's a very real component to have a career 30, 20, 30, 40 years in. We've had a lot of failures as well. So it's dealing with those things, and I don't think there's enough information about that. So I would ask those questions. I've got a lot of my opportunities, and all different people are loving success, and we have very similar human qualities of worthiness and accomplishment, and they're just exciting people. It is a lot of factors, but it's also so important for our longevity and careers.
And then to both, I agree with both of what you said. I would say this, and this is going to sound strange. Somebody told me one time, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And the way I digested that, and try to still digest that, is that if you're a little uncomfortable, if you feel out of place, that's probably great, because that means that somebody else knows something that you don't yet. So let me listen to them. Let me hear about their experiences. And to their point, whether it's reading autobiographies or reading books in general, the more stories you can read about that aren't similar to your own, the better you'll be able to understand trying to tell stories that aren't similar to your own. So just be a sponge. Take in everything, and then you'll have more to work on. But congratulations. And again, and thank you to all of you so much. I know it's not cold in here. Have an awesome weekend. We'll see you later. Give it up.
Thanks, guys.